I don't have nothing. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. Am I muted? Okay, cool. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? You already know what it is, man. This is UNRAP, the podcast channel, man. God damn, we got a banger tonight, man. A banger for real. We gonna talk about, I got a panel of motherfuckers, boy. This shit's about to get heated. I hope it gets heated. I hope there's argument. I hope there's debate. I hope there's everything that my little horny hip hop mind is thinking right now that it's gonna be. Because I think it needs to be talked about. I think as artists, from producers to rappers and MCs, singers, DJs, even artists that work in multiple mediums need to hear this and need to get involved in this. And what we're talking about is AI. We already know what's going on with that. Some of us do, some of us don't. Some of us are not even really that familiar with it. Some of us just see it on YouTube or Instagram and just think, oh, that's a funny little video, or that's a cute little song, or I like that little song right there, but not really understanding what the ramifications could be if AI takes over all types of creativity. And I think it's a conversation that should be had. And I think that getting that perspective from multiple artists crossing different genres and different skill sets and different levels of music and mainly like hip hop, because it's UNRAP, baby. This is what we do. We do hip hop. But fuck that. We ain't gonna talk too much. I'm not gonna talk too much more about it. I'm gonna get the panel up in here. We got a great fucking panel. We got people showing up, popping in. It's gonna be an amazing show. Let's get everybody up in here, bro. Let's get this shit started. Because the shit was already, this shit's Daddy-O, legendary Daddy-O from Stetsasonic, the legendary hip hop group, the first hip hop group. PRISM, Puerto Ricanism in the building. Yeah. Well, you got me, Heat Detector. My man's, I done forgot. We've been having so much of a conversation before everything started. I done forgot everybody's fucking name. So I'm gonna give everybody a chance to introduce themselves, and then we can get right to it. Anybody want to go first? Go ahead. Tell them who you are. Tell them what you represent, and all of that.
Yo, what's up?
It's your
It's
boy
V Burrell.
Prism. You already know.
Oh, that's my boy. Me and P in the same group, the Morlocks. V Burrell right here, underground artist, aspiring sugar daddy.
Aspiring sugar daddy. All right.
606 for Critical Mass, Southside Chicago, MC, producer. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys from having me on here.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Johnny Portachinko, 90s MC artist, released a couple records, projects, mainly do knife designs now.
Can I get some volume? All right. So everybody knows what, and I'm Heat Detector.
And I'm Jericho Rose. I used to be known as Lunatic the Messiah in Chicago as a rapper for like 20 some years. And I moved to Florida now, but I still make music.
You're missing one. You're missing Jericho.
I know you by that.
Yeah. We got you, Jericho. There he is.
Daddy-O's muted though.
Daddy-O, your mic's muted.
Yeah, I muted it until I talk.
Okay.
Oh, he got the
he got the memo. Yeah. All right, cool. So AI, this is the topic. We was really having some really deep conversation before the show, and I hope that my hopes are that motherfuckers didn't run out of shit to talk about. I don't believe that that's going to be an issue. But something struck me, Jericho, what you had said about us really being the AI, as humans being the AI, and not. I I don't know if I totally agree with that. I guess the ideology of it, I guess it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, oh shit, we got Riot 1 in the building. But I don't.
Okay. If you give me a second, it takes a little minute to give you some prerequisite perspective on it to make it make sense. But if you give me a second to make it make sense, I promise you I can break it down in a way where it'll make sense and you can see my perspective. And everybody ain't gotta agree with it, but this is just coming from like, first of all, being a hacker and computer programmer and an IT guy, my whole life, but also researching ancient history and all the ancient scriptures on the planet. And then listening to a ton of philosophers, and it got me to this certain perspective where, like, okay, there's a guy a lot of y'all might have heard of. It's this white dude that died about maybe 10 years ago named Terrence McKenna. Y'all know who he is?
Not I.
Terrence McKenna. He was a philosopher. He was a professor of shamanism at Berkeley, and he's more known for being that guy that went around to every indigenous population on the planet doing all they plant medicine, hallucinogens, and all they sacred like psychedelic medicines and stuff. And he's the reason that now you got ketamine clinics and mushroom clinics popping up all over the place doing like PTSD, trauma healing, and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's besides the point. He was one of the best philosophers in modern history, and his understanding of the human psyche just like blew me away when I first started listening to him. And one of the things of this 9-hour lecture from this dude, and when he said that, it meant to me like I was saying earlier, like when you're born, you have a clean slate, you have no memory, but you are basically every part that a computer has. You have a CPU, your brain. You have peripherals like microphones, speakers, your mouth and your ears. You got different sensors and things that are called different things on a computer, but on our body, they operate in the same fashion and they still send signals to the brain to send data to the brain. And so you have a hard drive. Now, our hard drive, our memory is not in our brain. Our memories are stored in a different dimension. So that's why you can like be out of your body, an out of body experience, and still your brain is over there, but your thoughts and your memory are somewhere else. So we have a memory that operates like a hard drive. And when you're born, that swipes clean. But as your parents start training you, you go to school, you go to church, the things, the language and the culture that you assimilate into becomes the operating system that you are able to run your software and various programs on. And I'm gonna give you a good example of how this works. Like, let's, for example, just for the sake of argument, let's say all of y'all are Christians and I'm a Muslim, just for the sake of this argument, right? So if I was to say Jesus is God, and I believe that that's a program that is compatible with all of your operating systems, but I'm a Muslim. So to me, I believe Jesus was a prophet, but he's not God. So that's incompatible with my operating system. So when I say that culture is your operating system, I mean, it's the general operating system like Microsoft or Apple that some programs can run on both, but all programs don't, like brushing your teeth, getting up in the morning and eating some breakfast. These are programs that we run every day, and they run on most people's operating systems. But if I say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go fuck 9 chicks today, but your operating system, sacred love and sacred marriage is a thing. Then that's not compatible with your operating system. So what I'm getting at is that we are running a program every day. There is a doctor named Dr. Bruce Lipton, who is like the lead person on the planet right now, next to Dr. Joe Dispenza, that talk about epigenetics, heal with mind. And one of the things that they get into is how you can program the human brain. One of the things that can program the human brain is repetition or strong emotion like trauma. So trauma can happen to you and your whole operating system is changed instantly. Whereas if you wanted to, like, say, memorize a new song you just wrote, it takes repetition to do that. And now you do it enough repeated times and you've altered your operating system and now it's in your memory. But this is the same thing that a computer does. we are programming. It is learning how to program the human psyche. And I think that the people who created human beings, the beings that created human beings, if you want to go into like the ancient Anunnaki or whatever, these beings that
Nah,
supposedly created
we don't.
humans, they are masters of DNA. They are masters, of this kind of thing. Now we at
Jericho,
a place in
brother,
history
I don't mean to
where
cut you
you
off, but
have,
can we reel it? Can we
yeah,
reel it back
Yeah, can I?
in and get to the AI part of it and how that and how that works in with creativity and music. You know what I'm saying? I get what
yeah,
you're saying, though. I'm not trying to cut you
for
off or
sure,
be
for
disrespectful.
sure.
I get what you're saying, but in order for the conversation to make for it to make sense to people that are tuning in right now, we have to reel it back into what we're talking about and how AI could affect music, how it's affecting music now. How does it affect us as artists, as human beings, as artists? How does that affect us as artists and our artistry and what we do? You know what I'm saying? I'm a producer myself. I make music. And,
For
and
sure.
and that takes work, and it took me a lot of years to get to where I am, and I'm still learning. But it took a lot of work, and it kind of pisses me off a little bit that there are some people that can get online, take a software, and just make something 5 or 10 minutes without any skill level whatsoever, without any years of doing anything, and make something, and then get accolades and whatnots from it when it took no real creativity, it took no real learning, it didn't take any I don't even know what the fuck to say, but like shit pulling from the universe or whatever in the fuck it is that makes us as creatives. Please turn that up. Expeditiously. Yeah, it's growing at a rate like whatever
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean, I
six
just,
months ago.
I, I, I think, like, I could use 15 million like adages, but just my experience, right, as an A&R person, my experience as a person that's been on both sides of the coin in the music business, because I actually took a job at Universal just to see if all the things my friends was telling me was true, because they used to say, oh, they put records on the shelf, they do this, and I was just like, so when I had the opportunity to work at a record company, I did it for a while. um I wanted to see behind the scenes. I wanted to see what was going on. And a lot of the um just old school, I don't use that a lot, but a lot of the old school adages, a lot of the old school, sayings, right? People used to say a hit is a hit, right? And I used to say, what are y'all talking about? But then when you look at the greats, they still rise to the
What?
top. Like yes, AI is probably, they might be able to make uh
Oh, don't worry
I
about
don't
it.
know. I'm trying to think of a mid-level MC that they could make, but AI ain't never gonna make a Jay-Z ever, because the experience is what we, and those of us that are lyricists on this call, this podcast, the experience is never gonna, AI can never have that experience. Like AI could never go to Brownsville and boom, they could gather information from wherever. And that's the great thing about AI, right? Is that, now we got a digital tool, no different than Google, Chat GPT, all of that can kind of grab from what was already done and kind of, like put that together. I don't know what you call it, but put it together and that kind of thing. But the experience of being in Marcy, or my experience of being in Brownsville, or Bun's experience of being in Houston, or Andre Nicotina's experience of being in Sacramento, or Cool Nut's experience of being in Portland. Like those things are, regardless of what you think about humans, those things are things that we do and experience, and that's what ends up like kind of coming out of what we do. Like I went viral a few years ago because I said Rakim told the biggest lie in hip hop, which I stand on. Because he said it ain't where you from, it's where you at. A bunch of bullshit. Right? If I'm from Chicago, I'm fucking gonna rep Chicago. Like I'm not fucking repping the universe, right? So my point is that I think it's a great tool, and I think that those of us that are really dope are gonna be able to use it in a really, really dope way. But in terms of like it just kind of being manufactured,
That's a good
I just
perspective. I
don't
can
see
respect
it
that.
affecting. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't see it replacing Prince or Michael or
They doing it
D'Angelo,
already. They
or I
put
could
in. They put
mention a
in. They
million.
put in Michael Jackson
Not
and
yet.
Prince
No, they're
and.
not. It's because
What are
if
you
they was
doing?
doing it already, yeah, I'm saying if they was doing it already, because you gotta understand, as much as I hate the RIAA, I've always hated, a bunch of stuff. Again, I went to work for MCA just to see, right? The check was good too, but I went to MCA just to see. So as much as that happened, like we had some groups that were talented. We had Shy, but they made one record. You know what I mean? And we couldn't get them. We couldn't get nothing popping after that. You want to know why? Because they wasn't in talent. We had Mary too. They wasn't as talented as Mary, so they couldn't get that far. You know what I mean? But when you're talking about like, um, this kind of ill pop kind of situation, I think AI can make that all day. I think AI can make them corny pop records all day. And they corny to me, it's corny to most of y'all. But in terms of the dopeness, it's different because like, again, we don't know if Pharrell used AI on the Clips record or not. But you still need malice. You still need malice and pushing to make that record work. You know what I mean? That's my point. I think it's a great tool, and I think that the idea of it being a great tool moving forward is probably going to be, it's going to expand, right? Because now we can do things that we either couldn't do, or one of the dopest thing for me working on a DAW is copy and paste. Because back in the day, the shit I had to do to duplicate a voice. Like when we made Mary records, right? When we made Mary records, every Mary harmony that you hear is 9 tracks, because that's the way that we was copying the gospel people, and so we would do that low note, and we would have Mary sing 3 tracks of the low, then 3 tracks of the middle, then 3 tracks on the top. And I spoke to engineers about the way Michael Jackson used to record. So we were doing that. Nowadays, I don't have to, like, I could do one, right, and then I can make one a millisecond for ahead, and one a millisecond behind, and I got that harmony with the same, like not harmony but unison or whatever, with the same thing that I used to do analog. And for me, that's fly, because now I don't have to get the person to
Yeah,
sing it 3 times. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
you can
I
do that
think,
with
and I
AI
think
now,
that
right? So
those
now you can
things are
take
gonna be
AI
it's
and
gonna be
just take the
no,
vocal
that's what I'm saying. I think
and
that those
layer the
things,
vocal and
I
shit
think
like
those
that.
those things are gonna be help. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think those things are gonna help. I
I
just
look
don't
at it
think it's
like
gonna,
this.
it's not
Um,
gonna make it.
So from a producer's perspective, let me ask the
this how
panel
I
right
pieced it
now:
out.
how many of you,
So
all the producers on the panel? I think everybody here is a producer. How many of you guys use stem?
Not me.
The stems. What you call it? Separation.
It depends. It depends on what I'm doing.
Now, as a producer,
It honestly depends on
chopping
what I'm
samples
doing.
and everything, do you think that makes it easier and better for you to be able to pull out the vocals and do other things, or would you rather? Because I know sometimes I'll do something and I'll take the stems and then I'm like, it just doesn't feel the same because the vocals aren't in it, or that chop just doesn't feel the same because it just doesn't have that feel once you strip away the bass or you strip away the drums or whatever. It doesn't feel the same. But that's AI
I'm
right
using
there
the
too.
stem separation for the vocal.
No, but there's a place for it. But my point is
It's a
that the stem
tool.
separation is AI as well.
It's a tool. Like producers used to if y'all hear me, I hope y'all hear me. But producers used to muffle out the bass line of records, and that was kind of a form of stem separation because that's all they wanted. And they'd just muffle out all the other instruments on the loop just so they can get the bass line from it, and then bring in the high instruments probably on another track of the same loop. It's just a tool being used. So it's like I wouldn't depend on it wholeheartedly, but depending on what you do is useful. I don't use it all the time, but if I hear something and I just need like maybe a vocal and I don't want nothing else, then I use it. But I don't base my production all around stem separation. Like no, it's a tool.
Hmm. But with that being said, because I do the
Yeah,
same
and I
thing.
mean, and I think he I hate saying this, but I have to, right? I think that there is the idea of what we talk about making it, right? Like, whether that means Billboard chart, whatever that means, right? Um, you still are gonna that old saying about the cream rising to the top, you're still gonna have that. So I agree with you guys. I'm sure it's being done. What is it being done with a guy with 14,000 views? Like that don't count. You know what I mean? Like it's being done all over the place, but is it being done like with the stuff that takes us to them? Like whatever that record is, right? It might be Not Like Us, or it might be Snooze. Is it gonna take us there? Phil, I don't think so. I don't think
Well,
so.
there's an
I
AI
just,
there's an AI
because
artist right now
you
that's
know,
taking
Well,
motherfuckers there. There's the AI. What's her
yeah,
name?
yeah, but that
doesn't
AI
Timberland
artist
have
will
a AI
never
artist that
reach
he
the
just brought
level
out?
of a Michael Jackson or an Anita Baker, ever, ever.
Okay, well
And
then
like I
I'll
said,
give
we
you
could
No,
come
this.
here's
back
the
in a
thing.
year,
Here's the
we could
thing.
come
Here's
back
the
in
thing.
two
I'll give
years.
you
I
this.
I hear that. AI is like what the camera was to
I
people
hear
who
that, but
did theater. That's exactly what AI is. AI is the camera to people who did theater. When the camera was invented, people who did theater could not understand and comprehend why the camera was necessary because they already had a job. If people want to see people perform
Phenomenal
and act
answer.
out plays,
Phenomenal
why
answer.
the hell do you want to? And I look at it like this. It's like manufacturing. Companies are going for lean manufacturing. They're trying to trim the fat. The industry, the music industry, is the business of music. They're in the business of music. They're trying to find the cheapest way possible to get the commercial hit. The commercial hit doesn't mean something that's played on the radio as much as it means something that's played in Target, something that's played at the stadium, something that's played at a resort. If you can get something that you can make uh, white kids dance to at a bar mitzvah, boom, you got that right here. You don't have to fight with your artist to get that record made because you've already got it made. That's not going to take anything away from what
Yeah, and
we
that's what
do,
Rose is doing,
but
right?
what it's going to
That's
do is
what
it's going to
Rose is
occupy
doing with the
space.
songs that he writes, right? Like I think that's exactly what he's doing with the songs he writes. But like I said, there is an ideology of making it. We all make stuff, but then to what degree? Like to me, you gotta show me AI that stops a guy from working a day job. Then I'll believe. You know what I mean? You got to show me AI that gets
Oh,
somebody
it's
to
coming.
that point. I
It's
hate
coming.
bringing that up, but that's just real. You know what I'm saying? Like
Like
that's just real.
the
Like,
camera never stopped
that
theater.
is where the rubber meets the road. And maybe it's just because I'm old. You know what I mean? But I've worked with the Red Hot Chili
No,
Peppers. I've
no,
worked with
The
the
invention of the
B-52s.
recorded.
I started Junior Mafia in my basement, right? So I started fucking
Not that I
Foxy in
don't
my
agree
basement.
with
Like
you, but my argument
I
would
I
be
I
at
have to
first
see.
we would have to make our music in what we would consider to be now very primitive ways of recording, like ADAT. When I first started, we were using ADAT. Now we can go ahead and multi-track. And some kids, they don't even need powerful rigs. They could just do it right on Fruity Loops. And they could do everything there. Beat, vocals, mixing, mastering, it's done. I resist Fruity Loops, for example, but for them, that's what they know. So as they continue to
Somebody's
grow
in.
and we separate ourselves from the older technology, it's just bound to occur that some of the old stuff is going to be forgotten about as the youth adopt the new technology.
But check
Shout
this
out
out.
Vice.
Oh no,
Let me
I
tell
agree.
Vice
I
y'all
mean,
versa in
like
the
I
something.
said,
building.
I came kicking and
No,
screaming
peep this though.
for the digital thing. I did not want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to
Yeah,
do it. So I get what you're saying, but it's only one Soldier Boy. It's only one guy that made a record off a PlayStation and blew. Only one. And at this point, they wiped
yeah.
Vince Staples and them is wiping the floor with his punk ass. This new G Herbo gonna wipe the floor with his bitch ass. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's a
personally,
thing about those artists. Like being in a studio with Biggie, right? I'm in with Un. We writing this song. You know, I got the 24 track studio up. I get the beat ready, and Un looks at me and goes, D, he ready. And I said, he's ready for what? He said, he's ready to rap. I'm like, where's his pad? He said, D, the nigga don't write, right? That is a blessing from the gods because most of us write. So I believe, like
that's what the
me
dude
and a
with the
friend of
white
mine
hoodie
always had
up
this
here did.
argument
When
as
I
to
first
whether or not
recorded,
stars
he
are
had the
born
beat and he just
or that they
had it in his
develop.
head.
And I think some of these guys, like some of these artists I work with, yo, bro, the shit's so natural to them. Like I had to, it took me years to end up being daddy-o. That like I didn't come out the box like that. I used to sound like niggas in the Bronx. You know what I mean? I had to wait to get there. Biggie ain't have to wait for shit. He just did it. You know what I mean? So that's my experience with artists let me know that you're gonna have these guys and girls and groups that are just what I might, consider, lack of a better terminology, heaven sent. That when the first time you see them or hear them or when they do it, it's gonna be like, holy shit. Like what the fuck is MF doing? Like what is freestyle fellowship? Like what is wise
Yeah, my boy
intelligent?
Porter
It ain't no
Chico
shit
here
that Daddy O
with the
could
green
do.
cap.
I wish I could rap
He
that
came
good.
into the
I
booth
do.
with no lyrics, no pad, and just dropped his vocals. I was like, yo, where's your pad? He was like, I got it right here. I just been thinking up the bars in my head as I've been going, and now I got it in my head, and he just started rhyming, Porter Chico. So that I could totally understand what you're talking about.
Yeah. Shout out Vice in the building.
I
Hey
think some
yo,
of
What's
it is
happening,
gonna
that's
be
what
Vice?
I'm
learned,
saying.
right?
Are we
Some of
talking
it is gonna
about
be learned
are we
intelligence,
talking
and
about
and
AI
some of that
hip
shit
hop?
is gonna be like
That's what I'm
so.
trying to figure
Go ahead, Riot.
out. Are we talking
Go
about
ahead,
AI
right?
and hip hop? Cause this the thing. If we talking about hip hop, AI is kind of it's a catch 22 because everybody is so desensitized to what real music is that people will never get a chance to understand what a real musician and real music is because they are born accustomed to some shit that's not even real for real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not too fond of that AI shit. Just for the simple fact, like y'all said, oh, technology, yeah, times changed, but did it change for the better? You know what I'm saying? Like people are coming in the game with no real skill or no know-how and don't care to learn, don't care about the past, and that's fine. But now it's going to a point where everything is so automated, it's literally no soul left in none of this shit,
Mm.
especially hip hop. And if that's what we're going with hip hop, I'm totally against AI. I think it's bullshit. I'm keeping it real.
Y'all seen? Have you guys seen
Right.
the?
I'm with right.
Have you seen the this
I'm with
new the
right
new
on that
software
because I can remember the
called
first time I heard a pop artist sing that I enjoyed. Oh, go ahead, right? Go ahead, Pete.
the shit called Co-Producer? I'm sure you've all seen that shit, right? That where you make some shit, you download it in it, and the goddamn software reconstructs and does things and put ideas and put samples in it, chopped and cut up and everything already. If the AI feels like it's needing something, which is crazy. Like what is the point of even calling a motherfucker a
So I grew
producer
up on.
if the say who said that?
So I grew up on
Daddy, oh, you're
Diana
muted.
Ross, Smokey Robinson, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
No, I muted myself because the brother was talking.
And
Okay.
when when I found out that they weren't writing their own music, it made me lose connection with the artist. In hip hop, you gotta be writing the words that you speak have to be coming from you, in my opinion. A lot of people don't agree with me, but I need to hear your experience. I need to hear your words through your experience. So when I hear you, I know I'm getting a touch of the essence of who you are through your music.
Right. Does anybody on the panel think
I
that
agree with you, Prism, because go ahead, go ahead.
does anybody here think that it within music, let's talk about I'm just going to use all genres. Do you think that AI could catch up with the actual human element? The human element has the feeling, the soul, the everything that we all connect with when we hear certain songs. You know what I'm saying? It takes us to different places.
You know
Eventually,
what?
yes.
Yep.
To
Eventually.
time and space.
Nah.
Yeah,
Eventually,
because
yes.
it's feeding. The more
It's
we
coming.
use it,
Eventually.
the more we deal with AI, the more it's learning from us, bro.
Nah, I don't think
You
so.
know what I'm saying? And by the time it really evolve, it's gonna have all type of human traits. Everything is getting better and better. Fucking AI, chat GPT characters and people, because it's learning us. It's kind of scary, G, because it's learning
On it.
too much, too fast. How far is this gonna
On
go?
it.
We already not needed.
How?
They signing AI artists.
How?
What good is
How,
signing
Sway?
us now? Shit, cause
It's not
it's
it's
bad,
not
bro.
autonomous. It's not autonomous though. It's all prompts. It's all prompts. It's programmed. So like what it is it's programmed to take bits and pieces and formulate its closest approximation of what it is you're asking for. If we don't provide it with that
Keep
type of
feeding the bits
information,
and pieces,
it
and
does
watch
not
what
have
happens.
anything to feed from. The problem is we're already plugged into it because we're always on social media. We're always on the internet. Everything that we upload our music to all these streaming services. How
I
many
can
artists
barely
have
hear.
already sold their
Yeah.
catalogs to these labels that have probably already done deals with these AI corporations? You know what I'm saying? So it's already there.
No,
The
I
cat's
agree.
out the
I
Yeah.
bag. You
agree.
can't put the toothpaste back in the
I
tube.
agree. Heath. Here's the girl I was talking about. Her name is Zanya Monet, right?
Uh-huh.
She's an AI artist, AI R&B singer. But so my issue,
Is
she
that
did
Timberland's girl?
enter the Billboard radio airplay chart, but is Zanya Monet gonna end up being Summer? Is Zanya Monet gonna end up being Ari? Is Zanya Monet gonna end up being SZA? She's not. They can make a million records on her, but it ain't never because and I think everybody here is a producer. You're never gonna be able to
That's not even
be
their objective.
AI could probably duplicate a little bit of mustard. Then there's some other shit that mustard do that it's just gonna be some mustard shit. It's like listen, I started him at 17. I pulled Prince Paul and I had to get permission from his mama for him to be in Stetsasonic. Can AI duplicate Prince Paul? No. You might think it will, but it
Right.
won't. It can sound like it, but it's always carbon copy shit. And I think that's what the brother was saying when he was saying, I don't know if that was you, Prism, but somebody was just saying how it's still gotta learn from us, right?
Right.
And so we can put all those things together. Like I said earlier before we got on the before the show started. I use Grok all the time when I'm working my tech company because sometimes I gotta give report. I'll say it, and I'm a pretty decent writer, and I don't mean in hip hop. I mean just period. I'm a pretty decent writer. My sister when I was little bought me that artist style book, and that book is incredible. Small book, teach you how to write. So I get it, and I think I'm a good writer. But if I got to report out to a corporation, I'll give you an example. I was doing a job for a company. I work with the hospitals a lot, so I was doing the job, and I didn't want to take I'm not doing the flu shot, right? So I just listed my religion, and the guy came back and said to me, um, the guy came back to me and said, "Hey, just listing your religion is not enough to get you exempt from this flu shot for the hospitals do all this bullshit, right?" I went on Grok. I said, "Show me some examples of a religious exemption for for flu shot." The shit gave me something dope. As soon as I sent it to him, he said, "You've been approved." Because AI went out, searched the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and all of that, and he was like, "You got it, right?" I didn't do that. Grabbed stuff from the internet and did it. So I get it. Like, I do use it. I don't use it in music, you know what I mean? But I do use it. So I get that. But in the same
What's
token,
happening
I
now
still
is
had to
we
input
are
the
all
information in
involuntarily
order for it to do
eating
it.
this.
Yeah, you got a
Therefore,
point, right? We all are
it's gonna bite us
involuntary
in the
feeding
ass
this
one day.
fucking
Right.
animal.
So, yeah, I just wanted to chime in a little bit of how I feel AI is completely different from us artists, right? So the main thing I'm trying to get at, right? So when AI does something, it just basically replicates what is already out there. AI doesn't really come up with anything creative, right? And I'll give you a good example, right? We have a song called "Road to Paradise," right? In that song, the chorus that I wrote, it's a palindrome, right? The chorus goes the same forwards and backwards, right? If you put that in an AI is just gonna give you a generic chorus. It's not gonna give you like an extra layer of what I was thinking of. You know what I mean? It's the same with everything else. It lacks a human element. It lacks creativity. Really, it just gives you what other people have done, and it does its best to like replicate that. That's why like AI artists are generally like corny because they're just like approximations of
Well,
whatever's hot. You know. Uh,
I
Yeah, I
watched
think
the
out of
video the
all
other
of us,
day.
I think Rose is the best example in terms of what he's doing with his catalog. I think that's super fly, but I don't think that catalog could exist without them songs he wrote in them 8 years. You know what I mean? And I doubt very seriously, and I haven't ever
Yeah,
heard it, brother. But I
100%.
respect you, and he my man, so definitely, you know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking with you because you fuck with he. You know what I mean? But I know that
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
not
But
gonna
but
be
what?
able to duplicate what you made. It's helping you.
yeah,
Of
yeah. So
course,
I'm
it's a
not like
tool. Here's the
totally
thing,
against
though.
AI or
It's
anything.
it's definitely a
Um,
tool.
well,
It,
one thing,
you know what I mean?
hold on.
It's a
One thing I did
it's
want to say about it is like an AI isn't gonna be able to tell you like what it feels like to have like a parent die, but an AI can tell you what other people feel like when they wrote songs about it. So that's the difference. It won't give you like your interpretation of what that is or what that feeling was like, or a song that you can make like that.
Hmm.
But as
so
a tool,
see,
like I was saying
we
earlier, and I
talking
gotta jump
about
in a
we
minute,
talking
but
about
as a tool, no, go
Jericho, go ahead.
what I'm saying is it's definitely a tool, and if you're never gonna be able to. I mean, when you said that it's never gonna be able to be as good as a human. That's the only thing that I find fault with because I feel like it has to because the singularity is coming. It's only a matter of time. Like as technology grows, like 20 years ago, we couldn't have imagined what ChatGPT could do today. I built my own AI chatbot, a Lunatic the Messiah bot, and had it on my Lunatic website, and people go there and chat with me. And I was trying to get it to pass the Turing test, meaning you pass the Turing test by convincing a human that you're human when you're an AI. And 20 years ago, I couldn't have imagined being able to talk to ChatGPT or Grok today in the kind of language that this thing could talk to me back in. Like, so imagine if ChatGTP came out during COVID. It's only been a few years this thing's been out, and look at the advances it's made. Give it 2 years from now, they're gonna be using. They already got Neuralink. When they put Neuralink and AI together, how would they not put a consciousness or a soul into AI? And when they do that, it's over with for the average human trying to make music. So I'm not trying to say that we will always need a human being that can get on stage and perform. So that shit you creating on Suno, if you can't get on stage and do it, then you lack authenticity. And people like PR aren't gonna listen to you because you're not an authentic artist. That's why I don't use it to write my lyrics. I'm a songwriter. That's what I do. But I don't sing. I can't sing like R. Kelly. But if I write an R&B song and I want to sell it to an R&B artist, I got to get them a top line. So I use Suno to create that for me. But to be able to write the shit
I
that I
think you're
write,
doing it right.
no, AI can't do that right now. It can't do that right now. But in
Yeah,
2 years,
Jericho,
3 years, 4,
I think
5
you're doing it
years,
right.
it's coming.
I
Yeah,
heard my
I don't
man
Yeah, but
think
what
say,
I'm
4 or 5
saying is
years AI is gonna be Jericho Rose though.
but Daniel was trying to say that you can't put soul and human spirit into an AI. And I'm saying I agree that we can't do that today. We don't know about what the military and other companies may have. They might have these capabilities, but as far as the public, we don't know about that shit yet.
continue.
Daniel was trying to say that you
Why?
can't
Okay.
put soul and
Continue.
Daniel was trying to say that you
Why?
can't
Okay.
put soul and human spirit into an AI.
Put Daddy-O
And
back
I'm
in. I
saying
think
I
he came
agree that
back
we
in.
can't
Somebody
do
came
that
back in.
today. Somebody got to turn their mic off. What the military and other companies may have.
Done. Did that.
You feel me?
That's what. Daddy-O's not in here.
Okay.
Hey, Lunatic is an AI.
We're good. We're live again.
Yeah.
Are we
Well,
all?
I heard
Hey,
someone
yo,
say,
Posix, would you use AI to make beats?
I mean, I
Why not?
shit. There's already producers that are doing it that are prompting it to make soulful type shit and then going in because you don't have to worry about sample clearance. So they're already going in, making the beat within Suno or whatever, and then chopping whatever it made and making a beat to it. Do you think that's a tool? You think that's something that that's useful? Because
I've done
at
it,
some
and it's
point,
useful.
the
I've done
producer's
it,
not
and
going to
it's
be
very
needed.
useful.
Don't you think? I still
I
listen to
agree.
EPMD. I'm mad every morning to begin my run on the lake. I couldn't imagine getting the same emotional energy from an AI track. But it's close because I
Shit.
watched someone the other day. I watched a video of someone using Suno, and he was building the track. He did the beatbox and he hummed the bass line. He did all of this shit, and then he prompted it to do some background vocals. And my thoughts at the time, and this was just the other day, there's no way the AI could make something sound really soulful. And this is to go back to my brother up here. And when he prompted that shit and that shit came back, I was like, God damn, that shit was cold. I was like, damn.
Nah, it's getting really good. It's getting really good. I
Yeah.
put a track
Timberland.
out on YouTube like 2 weeks ago, like 2 months ago. I got 100,000 hits off a track that I wrote the lyrics to, but I did not write the music. I had
Put
Suno
up the
create the music,
SSG
and I
in
just
there.
put the lyrics in, and I recorded my voice singing it the way I had the melody in mind. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I said, hey, I want put like a soulful, like 70, 80-year-old black man with a crooner, like Southern crooner, like Sam Cooke type voice. And it put a voice in that shit that sounded so damn dope. I got 100,000 hits on YouTube with a whole bunch of comments like, man, this song touched my life. I mean, the shit is getting good. That's all I'm trying to
Yeah.
say.
Shout out to Riot One. He said, we've been involuntary feeding AI since its inception. It's going to be some Terminator shit if the human race is not careful. Yeah, it was going to terminate. First of all, already as artists, we
Big
only,
facts, right?
yeah. The fact is, like right now, as artists, we're talking producers, singers, MCs, the whole gambit. Right now, we only make 15%, if that, of the entire industry. So what happens to the artist when we're not needed anymore. When people are just paying, because already people's attention span is like a fucking Twinkie right now. Motherfuckers got about 15 seconds to get somebody's attention, and then it's gone. You know what I'm saying? And
That's why I never quit my day job.
oh shit,
I
well,
think that
you
people
a
are
better
thinking
man than
about
me.
it from an industrial perspective, like get a deal, pop
Sorry,
off,
see,
get
I got
hot,
an AI
and
camera
I
right
think
now, and
I
every
think
time I do a hand gesture, it keeps fucking doing stupid shit. So I gotta watch my hands.
I think it's a wash for like all of that other shit, man. I think that a lot of it is like it's really just a clearinghouse right now, man. The labels are using AI as a clearinghouse. You know, they've already invested in these AI corporations that these developers,
Ask.
you know, teamed up with Google, teamed up with, you know, Chat GPT's home company to try to see what they could develop that could actually streamline their product base. Their product base is not even the artist, it's the music.
Right.
It's just a soundtrack that they want to lay behind some shit. Because again, artists have needs. You gotta invest in them. You gotta, you know, build up. You gotta do artist development. You gotta get publishing deals with these people. You gotta pay their management teams. You gotta pay their touring costs. All of these budgets got to go into these human beings where you don't have to invest any of those budgets in AI artists. And again, they're not going to replace the ones that are already going to make the money for them. They're just going to try to replace the ones that are just taking up space. All these artists that are sitting up here in these development teams that are not really delivering. You know what I mean? So yeah, you could get rid of a
What do
Jacquees.
we
Yeah, you
there
could
was
get.
an argument that I watched the other day that said, what do we do when the person that makes the prompts, that types in the prompts, becomes more credible than the artist itself?
Shit. The people that started Spotify more credible than the artists themselves. And they ain't got nothing to do with music. So it's burn all around the
I mean,
board.
word, word. Like we're talking artists, like the creative in me wants to not have this as the competition. You know what I'm saying? But I understand business.
Right.
I worked in manufacturing before. I know I've watched in manufacturing them adding AI into their systems to help streamline cost savings and stuff like that. You know, getting rid of unnecessary touches, unnecessary stops, and all of this shit. You think about like when they added governors to trucks so that truck drivers wouldn't speed, stuff like that. That's a form of AI.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that
Yeah,
that's how they
AI is going to be
streamline
driving all
and
them
cut
trucks here.
costs. You see what I'm
So
saying? It's in so many different areas of our lives that there's no way around it, but there's a way to kind of like implement it as a tool for yourself. The same way when the sampler was invented, people are like, oh shit, what the hell is that for? What are you guys going to do with that? Oh, you're going to fuck up the industry. And then hip hop turned it into something that was probably one of the most glorious inventions, you know, music has ever seen.
right.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
agree.
So it's up to the creative to take it and turn it on its head. If we
Right.
allow the industrial complex to do what it wants to do with it, then of course we're going to be subject to it. But
Hey,
again,
can I
innovation is
jump on what
always
you
going to
just
start
said?
from.
Check this out, right? Here's what we know. Here's what we can be sure of. As human beings, we've seen technology go from we building fires in the cave and killing shit with spears to what we have today. So what we do know is that until the next cataclysm that wipes humanity out again, because this happens over and over and over, we have technology that's just going crazy. And we know it's going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing. And if everybody on this panel said, hey, we ain't using AI, guess what? The shit's still gonna grow. And it's
Right.
still gonna affect the industry, regardless of whether we decide to use it or not. So you can use it as a tool. Don't let it stifle your creativity. Don't use it as a crutch when you can't create. I would never let it write my lyrics for me. I'm a rapper, I'm a lyricist, I'm a songwriter. I will never let it write my lyrics for me. But as a songwriter who write songs in every genre. I write country, pop, rock, gospel, rap. I write every genre, but I don't perform all these genres. So if I'm gonna sell these songs to artists, and I want to give them an example, a top line of what it's gonna sound like, and I got a tool that can make that shit sound probably better than they can make the shit sound if they got in the booth with it. Why would I not use that tool if it's available to me for pennies on the dollar?
Yeah, I think the crux of what, and correct me if I'm wrong, Heat, but I think the crux of what you wanted to figure out with this conversation was whether or not, since AI is going to grow, whether or not we use it, right? And that's probably a fact, depending upon overall power consumption, the power grid, and all the power that AI requires to work. The question is, do we like the fact that it's being used by those who do not have the talent that someone like Lunatic possesses?
I
I
don't,
don't
I
I'm gonna
don't,
care.
tell you
I
right
don't.
now.
Maybe
I don't care.
I don't like real people that are fake. So I sure as fuck ain't gonna start liking AI fake ass. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Salute to that.
I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be a hard time convincing me that like some AI artist is good or some shit like that, bro. Like especially when you know that
That's how I look
everything.
at it. It's like going to KFC for chicken, or you're going home to your mom's chicken. You know what I mean? Or I even say this: gentrification. It's gentrification. And you're gonna just live in the neighborhood and just watch the rent go up, or you're gonna prepare yourself for it and do what you need to do so you could either maximize your living potential or get bumped the hell out the way. You know what I'm saying? It's
I agree
essentially
with
that's what
that.
it
I
is.
agree with that, 100%.
Bro, you
Because
know what's bad
there
though?
is no stopping the advance of AI. It's coming. There's no way to stop
It's
it.
not.
So you're gonna ask
But you know
It's
yourself,
what's
here.
are
bad?
you gonna
You know
let it
why
make
there's
you?
no
Are you gonna
stopping
let
it?
it? Are you gonna? There's no stopping it. So
The
are you gonna let it make you
reason why,
obsolete? Or are you going to use it as a tool to stay on top of things and have the advantages that everybody else who doesn't have your skill, so they can't do what you can do with it with your skill?
Oh shit.
So if you got the skill and you use the tool, you're going to shit on people who ain't got the skill and they using the tool.
that's
But you
how I
got to
feel
use the
about it
tool,
regarding
because
Well,
if you
video.
don't
here's the
use
thing.
the
Here's
tool,
the
you're going to
thing.
be lost because everybody else using the tool. You got to
But
use it.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. We are creative, so we got an argument when we talking knowing what you're doing and then having like an AI that can assist you or really take over whatever, and it's not going nowhere. But the thing
Using
that's
the
gonna make this shit win is the average Joe. The average person that's not hip hop or in the music don't care about AI. If they like it, they like it. Industry is banking on people that don't give a shit. They banking on the average
Yeah.
Joe to
Yep,
gravitate towards some shit
hundred
and
percent.
Yeah,
make it viral and then
because
stick.
they lower
So
the
that's what's
value
going to
of the
fuck
art.
it up.
If they
Out
lower
of
the
every
value of
10
the art,
it's
people,
then the
cutting in and
only
out.
signing bonus
two really
isn't
care.
so high anymore.
It's cutting in and out.
If you lower the value, like they say there's value and scarcity. If you if you if you convolute the market and you flood the market with all of
Okay.
these
Maybe
up
it's me
and
then.
coming artists, they have these TikTok videos that blow up. You know, they have their Instagram reels that blow up. All of these songs that have a 15-second popularity span, and all they do is fill the gap. That lowers the value of dope music every time.
Well, see, the thing
You
is
know,
too
it
that
it, it, it
everybody here, like
floods.
everybody on
It
this
makes it
panel,
hard. It
we
makes
are purists.
background noise.
We are purists here. We love raw, pure hip hop. Motherfuckers that go to 606 in Chicago every Tuesday, who've been going there for 25, 30 years. We did that shit because we purists and we love hip hop. But guess what? If you see how many people show up there on Tuesday night, what, 150 people? But when you see a motherfucking Future concert or one of these dudes that coming in and they super like mumble rapping and shit, and they get like 100,000 people come to their damn concert, it shows you that most people are not purists. And like dude said right here
Most
in the
people don't
red cap,
care.
most people don't give a fuck. Most people just want their head to nod to some shit that they can feel. And AI is starting to create shit that people can feel with minimal
Yeah.
prompting. You see what I'm saying?
This
So
is
you, if you have
hogwash.
chat now, like if you have Chat GPT write your song, it ain't gonna write a song that I could write. It ain't gonna write a song vice versa could write. One of these PRISM, one of these dudes could write. But give it a year or two. of us all feeding it information, and it will be doing that soon. So
It'll
the
it'll it'll start
question is,
infiltrating all the different subgenres.
yeah, and so the question is, and somebody was saying earlier, like what Daddy-O was saying earlier, like, it can't live the life of all these dudes in various cities. It can't be a Jay-Z. It can't live his life in Marcy Projects and then rap about that shit. Not now, but look at the
Rick don't
amount
need
of
to,
information
honestly.
they've fed Chat GPT and all these AIs all the human knowledge that's on the whole fucking internet. So now, as it starts taking more like you, it can't read a biography from somebody and have their feelings and emotions. But look at what Neuralink is going to provide to AI when it can tap into your brain and have your feelings and your emotions and your memories. Now it can experience what it feels like to be human and what it feels like to have human emotions. And then it can write shit like that. So I'm not saying this here now, but give it a year or two. And man, artists are in trouble. That's the truth. So all you could do is use it as a tool now to benefit you the most that you can before it's too late to do that. That's how I see it. And I mean, I ain't
Hey,
gonna,
Ryan,
everybody might
what's
not
that
agree with
keyboard?
that. Huh?
What's up?
What's that keyboard you got there?
Oh,
What
that's
keyboard?
It's an AI
Oh,
keyboard.
that's an AI keyboard
yeah,
right
it's
there.
an AI
Right
keyboard.
there.
Fuck up. No,
Hey,
no, it's a launch key.
you integrating the AI with that keyboard?
Mhm.
No, it's just a MIDI controller running Ableton, bro. But damn near same shit.
May I ask, are you using
Yeah.
AI to produce beats?
No,
I
I'm
seen him
too
do it.
seasoned, bro.
I
I'm
seen
too
him do
seasoned.
it.
I go back to 2-inch tape, splicing tape and shit. I don't need AI. I get busy, bro.
Hey, salute to
I
that. If you dope as fuck, you don't need that shit.
damn, I'm terrible with this camera shit, though. I tell you that much.
I'll tell you this though, like you're gonna always have people who don't have any, like, you right now you got people with zero musical talent. They don't know how to write songs, they don't know how to make beats, but they can have an idea. They can say, hey man, my girl just left me for my best friend, and my daddy, I ran in the room and caught my daddy fucking her. Write a song about it, and ChatGPT will write a song about that shit. And you know what,
And they
it
get
does
the hell out
better,
of my
it does
studio.
better with R&B and pop and country and shit better than it does hip hop now.
Turn
But
the
give it
mic
a
on.
year or two. Give it a year or two, and man, it's gonna be writing songs just as good as we can write, man. So all you got is
It'll
about
give
a
you
year or two.
it'll give you that Drake style shit right now. It'll give you some trap as well, but it ain't really
Yeah,
giving you the real. You know what it is. I agree.
yeah. Not
But
yet.
from 3.5, at 3.5, I had my buddy
I'll
feed
talk
it
about
some
it
of his songs.
when
Like,
we do
yo,
my
feed it one
show.
of your real bare bones songs to see what comes out of it. 3.5 kickback. This is Suno, by the way. 3.5 kickback some shit that was decent, but 5, I was like, I had to look at him like, bro, this shit getting too close.
Well,
It's.
I
I
think
mean,
like as
honestly,
hey,
hey,
check this out.
hey.
As producers,
Yeah, we're gonna
we
have to step up
all of
then.
us,
Got
all
to
of us
step our
here have
game
had
up.
to grow within the music, within the technology, within the gear, within all of this. And so one would think we would have a heads up on all of this shit, that we would be, at least a bit more understanding of how to go about using it or how to use it more creatively. There are artists out there that are being super creative with it and doing great things, but I think it's, as somebody had said earlier, I think it's like the fear, like when the camera was first made, and people used to think that it was taking their soul, you know what I mean, if they took a picture. When electronic music first came out, everybody was pissed off and mad about that and scared of electronic music because it's like, wait, what do you mean? When drum machines first came out, what? No drummer? This is blasphemy. How are you going to be able to do this shit? It'll never fucking work, you know what I mean? But yet and still,
I
here we
speak
are.
from my personal experience. I myself, a part of the enjoyment of music creation is writing it. I like to write it. I like to make it, write it. I love to bring it to fruition and completion. I like to know, okay, did it after I finish recording it and I'm listening to it, did it sound as dope as I thought it did when it was still in my mind? And if not, I love the process of trying to maneuver and remold it and fix it to where it is up to par. And sometimes, every now and then, you could get a gem that goes beyond your expectations musically. I understand the argument that there are tons of people that don't give a fuck about that. I'm speaking for myself personally. That's what I get enjoyment. That's what I derive enjoyment of music creation from. So that ain't gonna change. However, I can see why somebody who does photography or video won't want to use it to do photography and video. But for me, it's a time saver to do photography and video with AI,
100%.
right? So I can see reverse that on the other side of the coin, how somebody who's not as adept as me as a songwriter, who would prefer to use the tool for songwriting. I don't personally like it,
Think about
but I
think about when like hip hop really like stood above mainstream music, when it actually stood on its own legs above mainstream music, how artists who were actually playing instruments and writing songs and performing, how they looked at hip hop like it was the worst shit to ever be introduced into mainstream music. Like, why are you recognizing this? This is bullshit. Why are you giving these guys awards for this shit? You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the technical side of that being introduced in the modern age now, where we all kind of like, the reason why we're so impassioned by it is because we've taken like the most obscure shit and turned it into greatness. This is no different. You know, is it unfortunate that the timing of it hits right here, right now? For some people, maybe, yeah, especially like if you're already eating off the music and you kind of like you see an opportunity to actually do something big, and now you see this as replacing you. I'm underground. I'm always going to have the desire and the tools to actually create. I don't have that standing on my shoulders and holding me back. I see it as an opportunity. I see it as a hammer. I see it as a screwdriver. You see what I'm saying? I'm building with it.
yes, a tool.
Um,
And he
I see all
and
the
he
different
this
possibilities
man,
for it. I know that streaming is a detriment to anybody who wants to sell music, but also we still have the opportunity to press up vinyls. We still have the opportunity to press up cassettes and CDs and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Whereas the
yes, sir.
mainstream artists aren't even encouraged to do it because in their contracts they still have breakage. I don't have to worry about breakage. You see what I'm saying? So I think our concerns are legit in terms of like what the possibilities are, but I don't think we should go so deep down the rabbit hole of fear or apprehension without actually trying to learn learn it while it's still new, learn it while it's still fresh, while it's still applicable, because soon they're gonna take it out of our hands. There's going to be something
Hey,
well
lunatic.
above us that
They
we won't be able
can't
to do nothing with it.
Hey, lunatic.
they
Pass
You either
can't
that.
become
because
skilled with it or you
banger
don't.
is a banger,
Hey,
no matter how it's
hey,
made, obviously.
heat detector.
So
This is
that's
coming from
possible.
an MC and a producer too. You see the NPC behind him.
Yeah, I see it.
Hey, lunatic. Let me hit that.
But what was you saying, right?
Um, that's impossible because a fucking banger is a banger no matter how it's made. Obviously, everything is fair game. So you just be dope. AI can't take away
Yeah.
your dopeness. So
And
that's
that's that
that's
part.
kind of impossible, G. I don't
Yeah,
think
big
so.
salute to
If
And
I
that.
sit up here today when
and
I get
being
off of this
authentic is
and
actually
make
going to
some
raise your
fire shit,
value.
AI ain't talking about nothing. I just did something dope. Fuck AI. You know what I'm saying? So you can either it's not really a fear or a doubt thing. It's more like don't allow it to rule you out when you know you good at what you do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm not fearing shit,
Word,
bro. Fuck up. I
word,
get it.
I
word.
think this is one
I
of the
think
reasons why I wanted to have this conversation. I know, and I appreciate everybody that came in on this conversation tonight because I felt like it was a conversation that needed to be had. and I think it still needs to be had because there's people out there that are using AI. There are people that are not using AI. There are people that don't even understand it right now. There's people that are listening to the shit and don't even understand what they're fucking listening to or what they're fucking seeing. So I think it's important as creators, period, as creators, that we talk about these things, we acknowledge these things, and then we move forward with them and use them however we can or however we do, but without losing the human element, without losing the soul of what really makes it happen. You know what does that make sense?
Yes, I
Absolutely.
think that touches on what V. Burrell was saying earlier.
Come
It's
on,
like
Riot. What was that
we
all
are
about?
actually the ones that are feeding it.
Cause it's like you just kind of just accepting the. I mean, yeah, I guess we gotta accept that the shit exists, but fuck up, bro. We who
But
we are, bro. We don't
but
need that shit.
but the argument that I'm
Right.
saying
What do
is,
you suggest?
but the argument that I'm saying
Do
is
you?
that
That's why I
at least
suggest
to have the
stick with sticks to
knowledge
your
of the shit,
guns,
at least to
or
have
you
the
gonna
knowledge of the
lose to the
shit.
bullshit. If we give in, they won.
I think that's
Here's
what
the
he was
thing, though.
talking
Here's
about.
the thing, though. Let's
He
check it
was
out.
saying
Right. Listen, though.
scarcity.
Listen, you don't have to. If we all, like I said, if everybody on this panel, if every purist rapper, MC, hip hop artist, producer in the world all decided right now we ain't gonna use AI, we're still not gonna stop the advent of AI from encroaching more and more and more and more. It's coming, and we can't stop it. So
Well,
anybody
that's
that's not using it, anybody that's not using it as a tool is going to probably lose
Is gonna
to
get left
people
behind.
who have similar talent that are using it as a tool because they're going to save time. The only thing really AI helps me with, it helps me save time. I can create amazing fucking music, but I can create it faster with AI. That's what it helps.
look.
It's just a time saver.
We are not on. We got all the time in the world, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like I got
Yeah.
enough
So
time in the world to do what I gotta do. I don't need AI to be a crutch. Cause what happens is you get accustomed to that shit. Now you can't really work without it. Because you're so
I,
That
used to using
Viagra.
something that's helping you. I can't
but
I
see,
just I'm too much of a human being to allow some shit like this to totally interfere with the way I live, bro, especially making music. I'm not going,
I
bro.
feel
I'm
what
not
you're
succumbing
saying.
to it.
I feel you.
It's
But see,
Hey,
there.
check this
Riot,
I'm
out.
how
not
But
old are
gonna
see,
you?
go nowhere.
Riot, how
But
old are you?
that's AI's problem. You see what I'm
but
saying?
see
That's
where I'm
AI's
at.
problem. I
But
ain't
see,
gotta
look, look.
indulge. You know what I'm saying?
So
Real
look,
shit.
I run I run two businesses, right? I run two businesses and I'm busy as hell. I don't have a lot of time on my hands. I be driving to a job and I got Google Keep open with motherfucking text to speech talking about, I'm text to speech and lyrics is popping up in my head and I'm having this AI write my lyrics down that AI is using
That's
text to
dope.
speech. That's AI
That's
too.
dope.
But as I
I'm
write
not
the
talking
lyrics,
about that. I'm talking about
yeah,
the
I know.
art of crafting, the artist sitting there making music, coming up with your bass line, digging for records, dropping them. I'm not gonna let AI get in the way of my creativity. Like people know me for how I get down. If I start doing AI, they not liking me no more. They liking the shit I use to make some shit and putting my name on it, bro. My
I
pride
feel
won't
you.
even let me do shit. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel
yeah.
you.
That's all I'm saying. Each his own. I'm just not an AI guy. I've been in too long to just give up because some shit made it easier for me. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick with the
So
hard
Yeah,
way.
Make,
well,
I
make
yeah.
don't
no
That
think
mistake
any of you
about it.
hold
guys
on.
are
I
incorrect.
wanted
I don't
to
I'm
think
just
any of you
making the
guys are
argument.
wrong.
I'm a
hold on.
purist.
Hold on.
I'm
I
making
wanted to
the
say something
argument.
about
That's it.
real quick. So the way I feel
Fuck
about
AI. That's the way I stand.
music
Shit.
is that it goes around. You know what I mean? So right now you might have like the rise of AI and you have this music that it might save you time and technically it sounds kind of like perfect, but there's going to get to a point where people are going to get tired of hearing that, where it's going to be like too perfect and every song is
Right.
kind of the same because everybody's using the same methods. And then, you're going to get like somebody that does something raw and creative on their own that doesn't use AI. And that's
And
going to
that's gonna
give
stand
rise to
out.
the next generation. Yeah, that's definitely going to stand out a lot more than everybody kind of using the same script, so to
I
say,
don't mind that future.
to
I
make
don't mind that
music.
future.
I think what we're gonna have here is we're gonna have a rush of AI music, and then people are going to get tired of it, and then they're gonna look back and be like, man, we need to get back to the old shit. Just the same way
The
it is right
virtual
now with
SoundCloud
lyrics. The same
rappers.
way PRISM, the same way it is right now with lyrics. And everybody up here as a producer knows that. The same motherfuckers get tired of this mumble rapping, tired of the same old mumbo jumbo. And now everybody wants authenticity. And I've been saying that shit for years. Motherfuckers used to say to me all the time, man, you sound like you stuck in the 2000 and the 80s and whatever and whatever. But I never stopped learning, you know what I'm saying, and perfecting my craft. You know what I'm saying? But
it's real for everybody, bro. It's real for everybody. If I could put out a record, create a little fake system that bypasses Spotify and all that shit and make a lot of money, and it's recent, it's real for everybody. Everybody can eat. You just gotta target your audience, stick to your guns, and do you,
yeah,
bro.
big
Motherfuckers
facts.
will
That
fucking
part.
you ain't
You get
gotta
some
keep
That
horns for
part.
calling
fucking Riot.
to the fucking you ain't gotta get on the assembly line, bro. This ain't Amazon. You ain't gotta get on the assembly line, bro.
That part. And
Yeah.
just be real with what it is you want to do. You gotta have some integrity. Just have some integrity, man. Just
That
keep it
Integrity.
OD.
There it is. Artistic
You know,
integrity.
yeah.
You
because
ready,
the
love?
tools are the tools. You know
My
what I'm
man
saying?
just,
Maybe
my man
I mean the
just,
way I look
he
at it.
he just shut the whole motherfucking podcast down right there with that one. Artistic
Yeah,
integrity.
Real shit though.
God damn. Salute to that.
yeah. You gotta have it. You gotta have it.
But
Otherwise, what are we
once
talking
again,
about?
everybody is not a creative. Everybody in it for the dollar. Not everybody, but majority of people in general. Out of every 10 people, two is really about this shit. The rest just
We live in a
is the
capitalist
dude.
society. Capitalism rules all of this.
Yeah.
So capitalism
And
is
we
the
follow.
driving factor behind AI.
And then there's a culture, and not even black, just as a pop culture thing here, we follows whatever high. For example, Beyonce decides she wants to be a cowgirl. Now everybody got boots on the ground and wearing fucking cowboy hats. Like these people so easily manipulated, bro. So AI is gonna win just because of that, but that don't mean I gotta
Yeah,
partake.
off of GP.
Cause what you know what I'm
Hey,
saying? What do that
hold
leave
up.
me? I'm
Hey,
just another
everybody
fake
thought Drake
motherfucker
was gonna
doing it.
be Kendrick though, and Kendrick pulled it through. You feel me? Like just because
Everybody didn't think
somebody
that.
has the largest audience,
Shit.
I
Come
feel
on,
you.
man.
I'm with
Knock
you
it
No,
on
off.
that. I'm with
that
you on
was
that.
just good for rap music. Drake needed to
Yeah,
get humbled, Joe, because he was just doing
yeah.
too
Hell
much to
yeah.
the point. As a man, I couldn't even play that shit. It's like, bro, I'm not
I
about to play your sexy
I'm with
record,
you.
bro. Like,
I'm with
what
you. I
is you
don't listen
doing,
to
bro?
that.
Fuck
All
up,
I'm saying is
Yeah,
that
too many
this
Velvet
man
Boy
got this
records.
large audience.
nigga, making sexy records. Boy, get your ass out of here, nigga. Fuck Drake. Fuck Drake. Drake was dope when he was with Knife Wonder in Justice League. After that, that motherfucker went far left, bro. If y'all know, those who
Drake
don't know.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Drake was the experiment. Drake was a label experiment.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I
That's what I
can I
mean.
He was
I'm
a
want to
using
label
it
agree with
experiment.
that,
as an
but
analogy
I'm
for
gonna
that.
tell you, when this
He was
nigga was with Lil
he's a
Brother, he was the truth. When he was kicking it with
he's a
Lil
label
Brother in
experiment.
Justice League, Drake was the
Uh,
truth.
he's a child actor who's already media trained who just so happened to be able to rap good. And they found a
Yeah,
way to manipulate his image to make it where because he was already an actor, so he could play the part. The character he plays is named Drake.
That's
and
all
right,
he
You
and
And
the
know,
was
main
an
and
got
he
character.
actor.
out
was
there,
playing was a
That's all
rapper.
he was.
and that's it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the analogy I'm
He's
drawing to a real
everything.
MC versus AI.
Ah,
That's it. He's everything they wanted Kanye to be. He's everything they wanted Kanye to be. The problem is Kanye got too many fucking opinions, and who wants
Yeah,
to deal with that?
I feel you.
yeah.
Right. I had to talk
That's
to
Kanye
one
why
of
need
I
my
ain't never
boys
get
about that
on, because
because he
I
was
tell
making
the
all
truth.
music
My
without
for
shit.
the
AI.
commercial, and I said,
So
"Look,
we
bro, what
talking, they
makes
ain't
you
use no
special?"
AI.
Breaking news.
My fault. I was just at one of
but
my
He was
buddies was
caught
like, "Yo, I'm
drinking
making
at
music
Fort
that sounds
Dix. This
popular."
is
I
your
said,
chance to
"Okay,
talk
well,
about
what
Diddy
makes you
pulling out the
sound
strap.
what makes you so
The
special at
wiki.
45 that some other little kid that's cute, that's willing to follow the program ain't gonna do that? You gonna resist, and he gonna be like, "Yes, sir. Whatever you want, sir. I'll do that, sir." I'm like, man, I feel what you're talking about, but at the end of the day, the industry really ain't looking for what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? They
mm,
looking for
Not at
somebody who
all.
gonna follow orders, a soldier, a good soldier. They ain't looking
They
for a
want
motherfucker
they
who know
want
what they
instant
value
bucks.
is. Yeah,
They want an immediate return on their investment. That's
right.
what
Okay,
it
check
and
is. They
that's
this
want a
out.
right.
return on their investment.
Yo,
Who don't want
They
immediate
don't care
return
about
on their
how
investment?
happy
You
you are
feel me?
behind you getting signed. They just want a return on their investment.
Like who don't want a return on their investment? You know what I'm saying? So with that in
Exactly.
mind, fuck the industry and do for self. It's too many tools, including AI, where you can literally do it for yourself and you don't need the industry. And when the industry
Hey,
wants
right.
you because you did it, fuck them again. No, nigga, I don't need
Yeah.
you. I did it on my own. I
Hey,
literally
right.
doing it on my own. I don't need the industry. People need to stop using the industry argument unless you're trying to get in the industry. And the only people complain about the industry is people that never really been in the industry. Because I
Right.
never seen people that's successful in the industry had this much of a problem with the industry. They where we wish we were. But 9 times out of 10, we won't get there because we too against the grain, AI and all. So you really got to do it for yourself. And I promise you, it's money out there, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Heat, I fuck with
Yeah.
Riot. Hey, I fuck with Riot, bro. Hey, nice to meet
Yeah.
you, Riot.
Real shit. Real,
I
real.
Yeah,
fuck with
right.
you.
That's my man's right there. I fucks with Riot.
Real. That's
Riot
dope.
is one of them super producers.
That's
Man,
too
Yeah.
I'm
much.
regular.
Hey, you gotta send through that link, bro. I want to hear what type of music you making.
Shit. Say less. What's your name on Facebook?
And we gonna link through Heat.
Yeah, let's do it, G. No problem. I got you.
But I think what you talking about and what Lunatic talking about, I can understand where the collision occurs in your conversation, but both of y'all are correct, right? So I understand what Lunatic's saying is like it's gonna come regardless. Like you gonna use it or not? Like, yo, you want the BlackBerry or you want the new? You know what I'm talking about? Like, cool. Stick to your BlackBerry all you want. We gonna fuck with these joints over here. We got all the new technology, and you can go ahead and do what you're doing over there, whatever the case may be, whatever, right? Boom, you gonna get left behind regardless. Now, here's the thing. I saw an ad on the social networks. It was talking about Suno. It said iPhone made everybody a photographer. Suno gonna make everybody a songwriter.
Oh,
And
it's
it's
already
crazy
happening.
because I'm right, and I'm thinking to myself, bro, that's crazy as fuck because somebody with virtually no skill whatsoever, as he was talking about, that got an idea, gonna make a prompt and a single sentence, and it's gonna kick you back a whole fucking hit.
Mm. Shout out
And the
Yeah.
crazy
Aztec.
part, the industry is going to put
Shout
the
out
machine behind
Aztec.
it because of the new way for them saving money. Because the game is already dead, so they're gonna put all the money behind everything you just said. While the real
Yeah,
artist, the starving artist, is gonna keep starving, bro.
yo,
That's the nature of the business, ain't it? That's the nature of what we do as artists. Be starving artists, man.
Hey,
That's
oh
kind
yo,
of how
man,
it
that's
keep
goes.
it. Hey,
they've been
look,
had the
Without
look, look, look,
360
though.
deal. Talk about
Remember this one thing. Remember that I said this. In a year or two, you go in a year max. Remember that I said this. All right. So since the beginning of music, the gatekeepers have always held.
my man Ill for real said AI is
They,
bogus, to be honest.
the gatekeepers have always decided who was going to be at the top 10 of the Billboard charts. We've never had control of that as purist artists, as underground hip
But
hop artists.
to
We ain't never had
piggyback off
control
what
of
at
that.
all
Riot said, though,
anyway.
But
the truth of the matter is that there is enough money to go around. If a motherfucker catches it and understands what his lane is and sticks to his guns, there's enough money to go around. I know plenty of people in that I won't even say industry, but that are making a very comfortable living, and you don't even know who the fuck they are.
Now
for
that's the
sure.
key. The key is every individual expects something unique out of the art. You feel me? Like some people do want to be the next super popular artist. They want to blow up. At one point when I was younger, I used to want to blow up too because I felt like I had all the charisma, all the songs, all the energy. I could
Who
rock a
told you that?
show. It didn't matter if it was in front of black, white, Asians, no matter what. I was rocking that shit.
Hey,
It didn't
Prism, who
matter.
told you that shit?
Hey, when you don't need to be told when you know. You feel me?
Yeah,
When you
yeah, yeah.
know,
For
you
You
know. You
know,
don't
sure.
need
I'm
to be
fucking
told.
with you,
But
fam.
look,
You know what I'm
hey
talking about?
yo,
Hey,
but Prism, but
hey,
look, but remember this though. Remember that I said this
yeah,
in like a year or two. Like so, when I was saying the gatekeepers always had the gates, they had control of the gates. Here's what their
yeah.
job is now. Their job now, because like you said, like we said earlier, this is a music business. It's about making music and making it for as cheap as possible without having to deal with artists and a drama and all the money they require. If you can get AI to make music just as good, they can grab people just as easily. Then watch what's going to happen now. the gatekeepers are going to be putting all of their money and effort and advertising dollars
Yeah,
into making people switch to AI music. That's what's going
Right.
to happen over the next
they're
year or two.
already doing it.
What's going
They're
to
already
happen
doing it.
is AI music is going to start taking up space for sync licensing. It's going to start taking
Yep.
up space for soundtracks, video games. That AI music is going to be in the place of that way. You don't have to license it out and cut checks to artists and who have to do splits. You don't have to do splits with AI.
You're just gonna pay. You're gonna
You
pay
know,
the
you buy the
prompter.
rights to it and just and plug it in. AI music is going to be plug and play. That's what it's going to be.
And
It's
that's
going again.
and
It's going
that's
to be
my
that background music you hear when you're on the elevator. It's going to be the background music when you're walking through Target. It's going to be the background music at Walmart. You
It's
know what I'm
coming.
saying?
that and
You don't
that
have to
and that's
license
what
it.
I was. Yeah, and that's why I agree with Riot is because at one point when I was younger, I used to want to get big, but like at some point I start to realize like, yo, it, that happening is probably and the way the industry works, not because of my skill level. That happening is about as logical as me making it to the NBA, even though I could hoop at 5'10". It's very slim, very very slim,
I
like
miss hooping
You
with
could
you,
have
slimmer than
made
fam.
it. You
winning the
could have
lottery,
made it.
right? Hey,
You could
but
have did it.
what I'm suggesting, and I believe in belief. I understand where you are coming from, but what I'm trying to get at, and the point I'm trying to make is like it's at some point I separated myself from any delusions that might be there and just started doing what I do. I do this. That's it. It don't gotta be for
I
no other
think as
reason
artists,
besides
I
that.
think like as artists anyway, we all get to a point to where we and end up making our best music and doing our best stuff is when we stop giving a fuck about all of that. Is when we stop giving a fuck about what the next
I
person
think that's what
thinks
Ryan
or
is saying.
or trying to achieve something or trying to do whatever, and we really start doing it for ourselves and doing it for what we
Yeah, do
fucking
what you're
like
good at and do it
and
for
what
you.
sounds good to us. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
make shit, and a lot of times that shit sounds good to me, and I don't give a flying fuck what anybody else thinks because the shit
Now
sounds
For
Heat
good to
sure.
me.
Riot, now Heat Riot, and Critical Mass and Lunatic. What's the next step then? Right, you got the bangers. What's the next step from a business perspective? Because I don't have the answers. I'd love to hear what the perspective is. Okay, what is the formula to take it to the next level?
Take a
Tap
page.
in with your
Can I
audience.
answer this? Let me answer this. Take a page out of AI book. If that's a new thing and people are constantly fucking with it, you be consistently doing what you do to the utmost. All we got on our side being the underdog is consistency. I don't take a lot of fans, but the few that fuck with you, feed them and they gonna feed you, bro.
Beat them.
That's all it is. Ain't no taking no month breaks and coming out next year after you dropped right now, dude. Consistency is the ruler, is the game. You know what I'm saying? Look
Hey,
at
hey, Heat,
Griselda.
where's that air
They
horn?
won off
Pew, pew, pew,
consistency
pew.
alone, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Air
So
horn.
take a page from the industry that we saying fuck them and fuck AI. Their thing is constantly growing, constantly evolving. They play the consistency game. We play the consistency game. That's where
Fight
you
For
really
fire
see
with
sure. For
fire.
where
sure.
the money is.
For sure.
Yeah.
What
Hey, look.
what you
Hey,
think,
look,
Critical
fellas.
Mass?
Hey, look, fellas. Hey, I hate to have to do this, man, but my wife
Yeah,
got
I'm
dinner
about to
ready
end
and
it
I
right
don't want to
now
get killed.
because
No,
I
I ain't
gotta
trying
Yeah.
to
go
hear that
too.
shit. I
But I
want to
want
hear
to
your
say this
answer
before
first.
everybody dips out. I want to say this. Number one, I appreciate everybody for jumping in and being on the panel. Like for real, for real. I want to revisit this. I want everybody that was on the panel tonight to revisit this. This was kind of a last minute thing. I was like, man, I was going to do something else. I was going to have a guest, and I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I want to talk about this AI shit. I want to talk and I want to pull some people in. So it was really last minute. The next go around, I'm going to tap in with everybody and we're going to collectively and come at this and really have a real good discussion about it. Not that it wasn't good tonight. I think the discussion was fucking great. And
Oh, it was
it's
dope.
amazing to even hear the different perspectives and the different understandings about AI and about being a creative, period. An artist, period. So I think it's amazing. And again, I appreciate every fucking body that has all of you guys on the panel that showed up tonight. I will make sure that we're in contact and we'll be able to do this again soon, like within the next couple of weeks, for sure. But once again, we're
Put
gonna
me
call
in,
it a
coach.
night for the night. You already know what it is, boy. It's unwrapped, baby. It's unwrapped, baby. We in the building. We ain't gonna stop, nigga. This shit is real. You heard? The coldest in the motherfucking city, baby. It's UNRAP. We up out this bitch. We'll see you motherfuckers next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll be back at it like crack addicts like a motherfucker, you heard? With that being said, check on your people. It's cold, cold world.